Hello folks, welcome back again to the channel that is all about racing. I'm Mark, and today I'm going to talk to you about a IXO Ford GT model, the current one, the 19 version that we have seen in the races. The reason I'm putting an emphasis on this video is I have found something disturbing that I think you should know about. And if you're thinking about buying one of these cars, quite frankly, you may want to rethink it entirely. Unfortunately, I have bought two of these, and what we're going to show you is concerning to say the least. Let's preface by saying this. I have been looking at the IXO Ford GT models for over a year now, and there was just something about them that, looking at pictures that made me question whether I wanted to buy that or get one from TSM or from Spark or any of the other manufacturers, because the pictures just didn't look right. But what's problematic when you're looking at pictures on eBay or on a competitor's website is, what the real car looks like. And that's the reason I have this channel, is so that you can see them, up close and impersonal. Anyhow, make a long story short, somebody had a really good deal on two of them. Essentially, I got them for less than $35, including shipping. So I pulled the plug and I bought two of them. One being the red Ford GT number 67 that you see right here in front of you. Good looking car. I got it out of the box. I looked at it, and immediately, something hit me that just wasn't quite right about it. I mean, I liked it. The livery looked excellent. The details, particularly for IXO, were pretty good, if not a little exaggerated. But there was something that wasn't quite right. And then the following day, I got in the TSM model, which I'm going to pull up, and I haven't even opened out of the box, which you see right here. I looked at the TSM model and I said, darn, that is a great looking model. Then I took a look back at the IXO model and I said, uh-oh, we got a problem here. And the problem has to do with proportions. Not that it's out of scale, but the proportions of this car are all wrong. So then I went ahead and I looked at my Mini GT, my 1/64 scale car that I have there, and I said, that looks good. And then I looked at the Brago 1/32 scale car, and I said, okay, that looks good. And then I went back and I looked at this car, and again I said, shit, something's really wrong here. We got a problem. And the problem is this, folks. This car is all out of proportion as far as its design characteristics. It's, I guess the best way to describe it is this. The car is too high, the front is too short, and the back is too short. Also, the wheels in 1/43 scale are also too large. They're bigger than any other wheel at any other brand that I have. And I'm going to show that in a different video. But let's put this into perspective right now. Let's take a 1/64 scale Ford GT40, and I'm going to put it right beside the IXO model. If you take a look at the 1/64 scale, look how low it is to the ground, how long and sloping the front end of it is, how long and sloping the back end of it is. And then take a look at the IXO model, and it looks like it's all cabin with no front end and no rear end. Now let's take 1/64 out of the way. And this is the Brago 1/32 scale model. Now this model is in 1/32 scale. It's larger than the 1/43 scale model there. If you take a look at the cabin size of both of them, they look like they're about the same. The wheels look like they are about the same size. But again, look at the 1/32 scale model. Look how long and sloping the front end is, how long and sloping the back end is, and how low it is to the ground. And then take a look again at the 1/43 scale IXO model, and it just looks like it is all out of whack, all out of proportion. Then take a look at the TSM model, that you have right here. I mean, look how low and strung the cabin is, how long the front end is, the rear end, and then take a look back at this, and it's just the opposite. It looks like it's all cabin and no front end, no rear end. And again, I'm telling you, the wheels are just about the same size as the 1/32 scale wheels are, which means essentially the car is too big. But the bottom line is, this is a design flaw. It is not a quality control issue. It's a design flaw. The folks that rendered the 3D images before they molded this car really got it wrong. And what amazes me is that they have not corrected it or fixed it, or that nobody has brought it up before on any review on any channel that I have ever seen. because it is just so freaking obvious, and it's the reason that it took me a year to pull the plug to finally buy one of these. And then when I bought it, even though I got it for 35 bucks, I was going, crap, what a waste of money. And to be honest with you, what I'm probably going to do with this car is I'm going to tear it apart. I'm going to take it off the base. I've never done that to a car before, and I'm going to dissect it. I'm going to pull it apart, look at the pieces. The reason being is I just don't give a crap. If I put this in my collection, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb, and it's going to look like shit. I mean, just simply put, it's going to look like crap. I strongly recommend to any of you that are considering buying this car to avoid it at all costs, don't buy it. Don't pull the trigger for it. Granted, it's inexpensive. And this is what really hurts. IXO makes a lot of different GT40s of this style and all sorts of different liveries. The 4 throwback liveries, this being one of the 4, the red one as I call it, or the red and white one. They make the GT40, 60, 67, 68, 69, all in the traditional, red, white, and blue livery that you have there. They've got other liveries, like the one that the TSM did here, the Motorcraft livery. I mean, they make just about everything, and they're inexpensive. Generally they're about $50 or maybe $50 to $60 at best. The fact that I got them for $35 is the only reason I pulled the plug to get 2 of these, and I regretted it instantly the minute I received it. Something seemed wrong, and this is it. And it really breaks my heart because IXO are nice, affordable Ford GT models, but they're wrong, and it just looks bad. There's just no other way to put it. And they've even compounded it worse. Their sister company, CMR, has come out with a dual model set that has all 4 of these throwback liveries, like you see here, along with the 1960, I believe it was a 1969 version of the cars. Or no, maybe it was a 66, when they won Le Mans. Yep, all 4 of the Ken Miles car, the Bruce McLaren car, and all the throwback liveries to match it. And they have them in 2 box sets. And they're generally going for about 80 bucks on eBay right now, $20 shipping. So for 100 bucks, you get both cars and a nice 2-box set. And I swear to God, I almost pulled the plug to buy one of them. I usually buy one before I pull the plug to buy the others. And I was going to buy all 4 of them because they were really nice, and I thought that historically they would be really cool. And then I got this car, and I said, oh my God, what if they use the same casting in the CMR set? Because CMR is an IXO company, bottom line. And if they've used the same casting, now you've compounded your problem. You've got probably a pretty good 1966 version of the Ford GT, 40. But the Ford GT of modern age, that of 2016 through 2019, quite frankly, is crap. And folks, I consider this to be probably the most important video that I have ever done. And if you are one of those who is pulling the plug to buy one of these, and you're thinking about get the IXO, think twice. If you have already bought one and you have one, please, in the comment section, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Am I right? Am I wrong? I'd love to have your feedback. I think I have made a telling discovery here, and it's even more disturbing than that because the new IXO models, those are what they call their limited edition cars that have come out, and I have 4 or 5 of them. Plus, I have ordered 6 more that I haven't even got yet that I bought from CK Models in Germany. And I think they're all oversized. Now, that's not bad because they're just a little too big. But this one is out of proportion. I mean, the whole design of this is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. And if you look at it and you compare it to any other car, it is just so freaking obvious. I mean, look at that. Tell me what is wrong with that. Then I could even throw this little 164 on, and the 164 car, gets it right. Mini GT. Brago, the cheapest manufacturer of them all, the budget car, if there was a budget car, made granted, it's not a very detailed rendering of it. It's lousy for details, but they got the shape and proportions right. They got it right. IXO missed it completely. TSM, who make phenomenal model cars, and they make expensive ones, they got it perfect, dead on. I haven't even done a review on this car yet. I haven't even opened it. But IXO got it wrong, folks. This is it. And I'm just going to say this. Please, if you're considering buying this, don't. You know, I never return anything that I get because it's not the seller's fault that the manufacturer, made a problem. If I get broken mirrors or other problems, I usually try to fix them before I send them back. In fact, I've never sent a single car back. I haven't gotten refunds on a couple because they were, obviously just bad, and seller never should have sent them or boxed them out anyway. But I've never sent one back, and I certainly can't hold the seller responsible for it because this is an IXO problem. This is a modeling problem. I mean, the people that do the 3D renderings got it wrong. And unfortunately, they've probably made tens of 20, 30, 40, 50 thousands of them. And their sister company, CMR, has come out with a 2-model set that look really, really cool on eBay. And I almost pulled the plug to get them, but I didn't. So again, whatever you do, don't buy this car. I'm not an alarmist, and it's not, I normally don't say things like this. If you've watched all of my reviews, they're all generally positive, except for a couple where the manufacturer just, made some mistakes. They were quality control issues for the most part. Quality control, not design flaw. This is an obvious design flaw. It is a good-looking, yet a terrible-looking car. And it kind of reminds me of the saying, you can dress up a pig, but it's still a pig. Well, folks, this is a pig. Take care. See you next time.